All right, Scotty the marketing dude back here at CC Powersports Clarksville, and today we're taking out this really awesome 2020 CB650R. I'm pretty excited about it. This one, we got to trade it in a while ago. Fella just decided he wanted something a little different, something a little bigger for him and his partner to ride on together. So they traded us in this awesome motorcycle. This thing's got 127 miles on it, people. Barely ridden. So ever since it's been in the showroom, I've wanted to ride it, and the weather is just kind of right today, so I figured let's take her out, see what she's got. This thing's a screamer. So this is a smaller displacement motorcycle, but it's still a 4-cylinder inline 4. This thing makes 93 horsepower at peak RPM, and that's 12 grand. So at 12,000 RPMs, this thing is making 93 horsepower. It's a screamer. So a lot of people, they compare this to the Ninja 650 or an MT-07, along those lines, or I guess the Z650, right? Since this is a naked bike, but it's not really in the same league. We're talking a lot more horsepower, made it a lot higher RPM. So this is kind of more for an experienced rider, or somebody, it'll go beginner speeds. You just don't want to rev it out, right? So as long as you're not super revving it out, it'll do a beginner ride, no problem. But if you wanted to, ride it a little harder and some twisties, that's kind of what this thing's for. It's a real shredder, if that is the terminology to use. I don't know. It's a ripper, man. I'm excited to get it out on the freeway, see what she's really got. I'm fogging up like crazy here. Woo! It's a cold one. We're at a winter brisk 38 degrees right now, so I'm fully kitted. Got my balaclava on here, my gloves, my Indian motorcycle jacket. Just ignore the hat logo on there. It's what I got, people, okay? But, we've got all the gear that you need to ride in this kind of weather, right? If you are familiar with us, if you shop with us, Dreama over in the apparel area. She's got everything you need. That's where I got all of my gear. And I got my Indian stuff from JB over on the other side of the store. But Dreama's certainly got everything you need. I even the equipment that I use to film these videos with, I got from Dreama. So we're getting the little 650 out on the freeway now. And we're going to rev her out, right? See what she's got. So we are at, we're just at about 5,500 RPMs. We're pulling 70 mile an hour right now. No sweat. We're only halfway to this bike's rev. And she revs out at about 12 and a half. So we're not even close. And if you wanted to roll on, it's got the power. So for a little 650, this bike really rips, man. I'm loving it. I love the way it looks. Let's take a little moment to kind of do a 360 around this thing, and I'll kind of show you what it's all about, right? So, like I said, this has got a 650cc inline 4 screamer motor. Same motor that you're going to find on the CB650R, which is basically just this bike with a fairing on it, right? And it's got what Honda calls their neo retro styling. So that mirror needs to be tightened down a little bit. I'm going to have to take that out to service boys when I get her back. She's flopping around on me. So anyway, yeah, it's a neo-retro styling. This cool LED headlight on the front. If it were dark, I'd show you how awesome that thing looks, but really just a beautiful bike. I love this red color on it, and I just really like it. When this bike sold the first time to the fellow who bought it, I was like, man, I hated to see it go just because I like looking at it every day in the showroom. I just think they're beautiful. I think this even the CB300, which is similarly styled, right, and the bigger CB1000, all beautiful motorcycles in my opinion. They're kind of just like what a sport bike I think should look like, right? It's all of the sport bike flavor with a little more upright seating position. Like right now, I'm definitely more comfortable. I'm not leaning on my elbows as much, or on my wrists like I would be on the CBR version of this bike with the drop bars and all that. This is certainly a little more comfortable, but if you put a pipe on this thing, I mean, I actually like the way the stock pipe looks. If you saw that when I was walking around the bike, but man, if you put like a can on this bike, it would just sound mean. Especially when you're revving it out on the highway like this, I'm sure it would be it would grab a lot of attention. But I don't know, I just love it, man. It's like kind of like the old school cafe racer looks, very loosely, I might say. Whoa, I'm running out of lane here. I'm so excited about the bike, I forgot. So yeah, anyway, I mean, it's got the look, man. It's like modern sport bike performance, a little bit of retro. It's not even really retro. It's more like what retro would be in the future, or maybe it's like what people in like the 1980s thought the future was going to look like. Like Blade Runner, movies like that. Blade Runner. What do you got? What's that Schwarzenegger movie? Running Man. Yeah, dude, Running Man. Or oh gosh, what's that Stallone movie? Demolition Man. Or a lot of two-word titles with man being the latter word there, right? Running Man, Demolition Man. Those movies, right? It's like, or maybe like that Akira, kind of Neo Tokyo, right? It's got that vibe to it. But it's really, I don't know how many times I can tell you all it's a really good looking bike. It is. Come in and check it out. But this is kind of what I was wanting to do, right? Was get it in these little corners and feel her out. Unfortunately, I've got Ram Country in front here. Can't really get too crazy. Of course, shouldn't be getting crazy anyway, right? Got to be a responsible adult. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. This bike is wonderful. I love it. I don't know if I'm going to let this one go. Let's talk about the price, though. I mean, Jose's got this bike marked at $79.99. I don't know what the MSRP is on it. New. This bike is basically brand new. It's got it had 127 miles on it. Now we've got, I don't know. I can't really find it, but I've only put a few miles on it, right? So we're right around the 130 mark. Let's just say that. 130 miles, man. It's brand new. It's not even at its break-in. Not really. So you're getting a brand new bike, basically, okay, for $8,000. It's not a beginner bike. It's not a bike you're going to grow out of. It is a ripper. It will shred the streets, right? And you're going to look great doing it. It's even got a passenger seat. Not that you are probably too concerned about that with a bike like this, but you could totally have a passenger on it. It's actually, it actually looks mildly to even superbly comfortable back there. It's kind of got a flat, passenger seat, and it's not a little pad like some of the other bikes in this market that I'm sure your passenger would probably not enjoy sitting on. This is always the worst part of this ride. That's the one thing Clarksville's missing is beautiful back roads, right? That's what this bike would just excel at. That's quite pleasant, isn't it? So yeah, I think if I were to buy this bike, I think probably the first thing I would do is probably get a slip-on exhaust for it, like maybe a Yoshi. If we're staying with the factory Honda kind of vibe, right? I'd probably put a Yoshimura pipe on this, or maybe a Two Brothers. Something in a carbon fiber variety. And that would probably really open this bike up. Not that it needs opening. It's, like I said, it makes 93 horsepower. It only weighs 440 something pounds, so it's a peppy little motorcycle, and I like it. I like this readout. It's got this nice digital readout up front. Like I said, man, it's almost like analog, or not analog, but old school digital. You know, like I said, it's really kind of leaning into that like Blade Runner, Demolition Man, Running Man vibe, right? That 80s futurism. Which I love. I love those movies. I think they're a really interesting take on what the future could have been, right? I mean, if only, right? Flying cars and, all the cool stuff that they had in there. But, wow, this kind of stinks, huh? I wonder what's going on. If I could peep. Oh, just major suckfest, that's all. This is not what you want when you're on a motorcycle, you know? Can't even get my visor up. There we go. Now we're rolling. Well, every ride can't be perfect, right? But at least we're out here. It's certainly cold, but I will say all this gear it's kept me pretty comfortable. I never have been like a guy that thought riding in cold weather was even worth it or something I would ever even think about doing. Like my personal bike, it sits at home for the most part when it's this weather. But I'm thinking now that, I think I could probably do it no problem. Now that you got all the right gear, right? Maybe I'll become an all-year-round rider. I don't know. It's not bad. 38 degrees, and I'm comfortable. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to let you get on with your day. If you're still watching this, I don't know why you would be listening to me just kind of talk and ramble on for 14, 15 minutes, whatever, how long this is. But I can't say it enough. This is a wonderful motorcycle. If you're in the market for your first bike, you want something you're not going to grow out of. If you're in the market for a fun sport bike just to rip around the back roads on, or just want to tear up the streets with your buddies, I mean, this is it. This is just a badass looking bike. I love it. Hey guys, we're having technical difficulties. I apologize. It's been Scotty the marketing dude, and I'll check you later. Next time I'll charge my camera.